Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night Ghost Stories Extra, because we are on a Friday. Oh, my goodness me. Here we are in the library, he said grandly. We have the fire on tonight because it is dirt chilly. It is absolutely freezing. Just thinking back to Wednesday, 2 days ago, when Reg and I were coming back on the steam train and we were melting in that carriage, but no, temperatures dropped a bit tonight. So, in case you're wondering, there is his derpy lurpiness. I'll move that way. There he is. He's sat at the back of the chaise. So, what are we reading tonight? We are still reading The Superb Haunted Places of Scotland. Oh, my goodness me. This has been an absolutely belting book. And I'm conscious of the fact that I really do need to invest in some more ghost story books, despite the fact looks around the library and realizes he's got hundreds of the damn things anyway. But yeah, anyway. What are we drinking tonight? We are drinking one of the subscription beers, which is Corson Donk. No, I'm not kidding. There it is, Corson Donk Brewing, 6%. It doesn't really say anything apart from that. It just says beer in several different languages. Let's have a quick read of the things. Belgian Abbey beer, and that's it. No ingredients: wheat and barley, malt. No, it's good stuff apparently. So there we go. Corson Donk, Belgian ale, beer. Well, we'll top up the glass anyway. And what are we washing it down with? We're washing it down with the last of the Western Gold honey, which I've really got to go and buy another bottle of that. Might do that tomorrow when I go down the shops. So we haven't even started reading any ghost stories yet, and already we have a dead soldier. And Run VT.
Oh, it's jolly nice of you. Hello, dead soldier. Seen plenty of those in my time.
Let's crack on. Roxburgh House. Roxburgh House Hotel, formerly known as Sunlaws, dates mostly from 1853, which is about 7 minutes to 7, and replaced a previous house which had been destroyed by fire. The hotel stands in a tranquil location in 200 acres of gardens and wooded parkland. Sunlaws was a property of the Kerrs of Chatto, and Bonnie Prince Charlie was entertained here in November 1745, which is 4-6. The house was used to hold German prisoners of war during World War II. The property acquired by the Duke of Roxburgh in 1969, and the building is now an exclusive hotel. The hotel is said to have several ghosts. One is reported to be the apparition of a woman, a green lady, who is clad in green. She allegedly walks the area on the ground floor, covering the corridor from the kitchen through to the inner hall, and then along the path leading out from the conservatory up to the Chinese bridge. The story goes that she is searching for her baby. The ghost has been seen several times in living memory. Another ghost is reputedly that of a soldier. The apparition may be one of those imprisoned here during the war, or one of the family who formerly lived at the house, as many of them were in the military. The ghost has been witnessed on the top floor of the house, which is currently only used for storage space. The apparition is dressed in brown military-style clothing. Not a German then. That's field grey. A third manifestation is felt rather than seen, and one of the rooms has had a strange aura from time to time. A guest in 1990 reported that she awoke suddenly at night with a strange sensation, as if something cool was brushing down her entire body. The administration offices housed in the old laundry in the oldest part of the building are also said to be haunted. Hotel, telephone number, website, address, and that's it. Right. Shall we try a bit of this Corson Donk Brewing beer? Corson Donk Brown, I think that's probably what it means. But anyway, in the magnificent Rush beer glass from viewers Kirsten and Steve, the United States. Cheers, me beers. Smells lovely, actually. It tastes divine. Oh, I love Belgian beer. If only I could find somewhere in the UK that does Belgian beer. Well, obviously Beer 52, but no, just, I mean, the one we had on Wednesday night, the cherry beer. Oh, my goodness me. Anyway, Royal Alexandra Infirmary, Paisley. The Royal Alexandra Infirmary dates from about 1900, and the original building is an interesting mix of both baronial and Art Nouveau styles. The hospital serves Paisley and the surrounding area with maternity, accident and emergency, and many other services. At least one account states that the hospital is haunted. Manifestations are said to include footsteps coming from an unoccupied loft, as well as the sounds of whispering and running water coming from wards where all the patients were apparently asleep. Beds are also reputed to have been mysteriously pushed away from walls and elevated. And there is also a report of the apparition of a man dragging something behind him, which might have been a body bag. Bum, bum, bow. Would you make that, Derp? No, he's not impressed. I'll get him a book on cat ghost stories. Oh, that is so sweet. That is lovely. Right. Royal Circus Hotel, Edinburgh. The Royal Circus was built in 1823 as part of Edinburgh's New Town and is an elegant sweep of houses in a long crescent overlooking the Royal Circus Gardens. The hotel is a fine establishment located in the crescent, and there are stories that the building is haunted by the apparition of a beautiful woman dressed in white but with black hair, spotted moving along the corridors. Hotel telephone number, that's all it says. Sorry, the other one, Royal Alexandra Infirmary, Paisley, it had hospital telephone number. This one is hotel telephone number. Royal Hotel, Oktamukti. The Royal Hotel is believed to be haunted. The story goes that a previous owner committed suicide in one of the rooms, and since then, unexplained activity has been reported in that chamber, as well as the alleged sightings of an apparition in the main hallway. The hotel has been closed in the last few years. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in June 2004 by Ghost Finders. Sorry, the beer hiccups there, I do apologise. By Ghost Finders website address. / No, we won't touch the beer until the bump rather until we're well into the teens in terms of double figures. So, Royal Hotel, Comrie. The Royal Hotel in the pleasant Perthshire village of Comrie is housed in a building dating from about 1800. The building is said to be haunted by a green lady, an elegant apparition sighted in a long, flowing green cloak. The bogle is said to be seen searching the corridors for her love, who was lost in a blizzard and is reputedly a friendly ghost. Hotel telephone number, website, there we go. I think we'll just jump on to the next one and then we'll have beer. So, Royal Hotel, Cooper Angus. The Royal Hotel, which dates from the middle of the 19th century, is said to be haunted. That's it. That's all they say there. Hotel telephone number. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in June 2005 by Paranormal Investigation Scotland. So the footnote is actually longer than the story. They're like this, some of these stories. Anyway, cheers, me beers. Not bump time yet. Royal Hotel, Coupar. So that's Coupar Angus, Coupar Angus. Then we've got Coupar, which is Cupar. Anyway, Royal Hotel, Coupar. The former hotel, which was built in the 19th century, is said to be built on the site of a graveyard associated with the Dominican Friary of St. Catherine, founded in 1348 by Duncan, Earl of Fife. The lands were given to the burgh or the burgh in 1572, and a small part of the church survived in the 19th century, but now nothing remains. The hotel was said to be haunted by the ghost of one of the friars, seen most often in the function rooms, while other manifestations reputedly include objects moving by themselves. Oh, yeah, again, shocking reading. The hotel was said to be haunted by the ghost of one of the friars, seen most often in the function rooms, while other manifestations reputedly included objects moving by themselves. A sighting of the ghost was made in 1978 in an empty room, while the hooded apparition was apparently seen walking silently across the floor, and other manifestations are said to... Try that again. A sighting of the ghost was made in 1978 in an empty room, when the hooded apparition was apparently seen walking silently across the floor, and other manifestations are said to have been sudden drops in temperature and the mysterious moving of cutlery and other objects. Another sighting of the ghost was allegedly made in the function room when it was observed in a strange, eerie light. The ghost vanished through a wall and the light was extinguished at the same time. This was accompanied by extreme cold. The ghost had apparently been seen twice before in the same location. The hotel is now used as flats for old folk. Slash me bar. Right. Royal Lyceum, Edinburgh. The Royal Lyceum Theatre, dating from 1883 but remodelled in 1992 with a glass foyer, has a fine Victorian interior and is the venue for many excellent plays, drama and comedy. The building is said to be haunted by the apparition of a woman in a blue dress, seen in an upper gallery which is not open to the public during the performance of a play. The bogle has been identified by some as that of Ellen Terry, who was at the first performance of the theatre. A second ghost is claimed to be that of a shadowy figure seen in the lighting gantry above the stage. Theatre with bar, telephone number, website. I like the sound of that. Theatre with bar. Although I was at a cinema with bar on Wednesday. Wednesday or Thursday? No, Thursday. It was last night. Tell you about that at half time. Anyway, cheers, me beers. Oh, we can have some of the Western Gold now. Slange me bar. Oh, we are definitely investing in another bottle of that. Royal Mile, Edinburgh. The Royal Mile is the street which runs down through the old town from the castle through Castle Hill, the Lawn Market, the High Street, and the Canongate to Holyrood. The street is said to be where a harbinger of ill omen for the city was sometimes seen in the form of a phantom coach tearing up the Royal Mile. The black coach was reported to be drawn by galloping black horses breathing fire and to be full of mourners dressed in black. Goodness me. Ruthven Barracks. No, it's true, I tell you. The present building, a barracks built to defend against the Jacobites, stands on the site of an ancient stronghold. Ruthven was held by Alexander Stuart, Earl of Buchan, and the Wolf of Badenoch at the end of the 14th century. Stuart, who was an unruly fellow, was one of the sons of Robert II. When he was excommunicated by the Bishop of Moray, he burnt Forres and Elgin in revenge, including the cathedral. One tale has him as an even darker character. The story goes that Stuart practiced witchcraft, but in 1406, a dark visitor challenged Stuart to a game of chess. In the morning, he and his men were found dead, for Stuart had played with the devil and lost. The phantoms of Stuart and his followers reputedly repeat their grisly doom and haunt the place. So the story goes. Stuart, however, was buried in Dunkeld Cathedral, having died in his 60s, and his fine stone effigy survives in the church. Historic Scotland, access at all reasonable times, telephone number, website. Time for a beer and a bump, I think. Slange me back. Ah, lovely. Oh. Saddle Castle. That's sad, as in SADDELL. So Saddle. I think we'll go with Saddle. Saddle Castle. Saddle Castle consists of an altered 15th century keep and a range of 18th century outbuildings, which replaced the original courtyard. The castle stands on what were the lands of Saddle Abbey, founded by Reginald, son of Somerled. Angus Og MacDonald is said to have sheltered. Read that again. The castle stands on what were the lands of Saddle Abbey, founded by Reginald, son of Somerled. Angus Og MacDonald is said to have sheltered Robert the Bruce here in 1306. The castle was later held by the Ralston family as tenants of the Campbells, and the castle was replaced by the 18th century Saddle House. Saddle Castle is said to be haunted. A white lady is reputed to walk the battlements, and the castle also reportedly has a ghostly monk. Is he called Harry? Let's find out. Who appears to have translated with much of the stone from Saddle Abbey. Can be rented through the Landmark Trust for holidays for up to 8 people. Telephone number, website. We do have some photographs here, which I think we'll wait until we get to the... Actually, let's have a quick look. Okay, so Rothesay Castle, page 250. So there's Rothesay Castle at the top there. Then we've got Roxburgh House, page 252. And Ruthven Barracks, page 254. So there's Roxburgh House. Get my finger out of the way. That's what she said. There's Roxburgh House. And there is Ruthven Barracks. There they are. No, it's true, I tell you. Ruthven Barracks. Let's crack on. Saltoun Hall. Saltoun Hall incorporates part of a strong castle dating from as early as the 12th century. The lands were a property of the Abernethy Lord Saltoun, but were sold in the 17th century to Sir Andrew Fletcher, who was prominent in resisting the union of Parliaments of Scotland and England in 1707. The hall is still occupied but has been divided into separate dwellings. The hall is reputedly haunted by a grey lady. Brilliant. Right. No, we'll do one more and then we'll have a beer and a bump. Salutation Hotel, Perth. One of the oldest hotels in Scotland and dating from 1699, the Salutation Hotel was visited by Bonnie Prince Charlie in 1745 during the Jacobite Rising. His apparition wearing green tartan is said to have been seen in one of the bedrooms. Hotel, telephone number, website. Sandwood Bay. The picturesque sands here are reported to be haunted by a bearded sailor, as is a nearby cottage on Sandwood Loch, the apparition having been witnessed on several occasions, including in recent times. The phantom is clad in a brass-buttoned dark tunic, sailor's cap and boots. Again. The phantom is clad in a brass-buttoned dark tunic, sailor's cap and boots. One story suggests that the ghost is that of a seaman drowned when his ship sank and his body was washed up in the bay. Accessible at all times. That's Sandwood Bay, not the sailor, not the dead sailor. Although I can't speak for him, but anyway, what are we up to? 23 minutes. Beer and a bump time, I think. You enjoying this, Derbs? Are you enjoying the ghost stories? He is. A little feline head nodding away there. Slange. Oh, I've got some fan correspondence here. Bear with. Bear with. Right, let's crack on, shall we? What are we up to? 24 minutes, right. Sandwood Bay. Oh, we read that one. Sandyford Place, Glasgow. The beer hiccups. One of the houses, I think we've got the beer burps coming up, folks. Oh, there we go. Beer burps at 25 minutes and 20 seconds. There we go. I do apologise. Sandyford Place, Glasgow. One of the houses in Sandyford Place, which dates from the middle of the 19th century, is reported to be haunted. The apparition of a man has reputedly been seen. The apparition of a man has reputedly been spotted lying in a bed, and the bogle appears to be choking. One occupant claimed to have seen the ghost along with a phantom noose spotted hanging from the ceiling. The house is now used as an office, and there are apparently no recent reports of activity. No, nothing to report on the end of that one. I don't know how you pronounce this. Sanquhar? Sankahar? I think we'll go for Sankahar. Cheers, me beers. Oh, lovely. Sankahar Castle, or Sand Castle. Sankahar Castle is a ruinous 13th century castle of the Crichton family, and two ghosts reputedly haunt the crumbling walls. One is the White Lady, which is believed to be the spirit of a young golden-haired woman, Marion McMath of Dalpedder. Also see that entry. Let's read that again. One is the White Lady, which is believed to be the spirit of a young golden-haired woman, Marion McMath of Dalpedder. Also see that entry. Who is said to have disappeared in 1590. She may have been murdered by one of the Crichton lords, and a skeleton of a girl was reportedly found in 1875 to 76, face down in a pit during excavations. Her appearance was said to bode ill for the Crichtons. The other ghost is allegedly that of John Wilson, who was hanged unjustly in 1597 by Robert Crichton, 6th Lord Sankahar. Wilson was an innocent messenger who got embroiled in a dispute between Crichton and Sir Thomas Wilson was an innocent messenger who got embroiled in a dispute between Crichton and Sir Thomas Kirkpatrick. His bogle manifests itself with groans and the rattling of chains. The headless body of a man was also found around the 1840s under the floor of one of the castle vaults. Open all year, ruins are in a poor state of repair and great care should be taken. Right, this will be the last one for the first half of the show, so Slingsby Park. Sankahar Kirkyard. Abraham Crichton of Carco, an unpopular, miserly, and apparently ruthless landlord who was provost of Sankahar, died bankrupt in 1741. He had wanted to remove materials from the derelict church of Kilbride. As he was in the process of demolishing the church, a storm blew up and thunder frightened his horse. Crichton tumbled from the saddle. Crichton tumbled from the shadow. Been a long day, folks. Crichton tumbled from the saddle and was dragged along the ground all the way to Dalpedder, dying an excruciating death. His ghost is then said to have haunted Sankahar churchyard, where he was buried. Crichton is said to have been a very rich but miserly man, despite being declared bankrupt, and his ghost is reported to have returned to try and prevent his hoard of money being found. His bogle is said to have repeatedly terrified passers-by until it was exorcised by a priest, after which it was not witnessed again. This is not the only ghost linked to the Crichtons which is associated with Dalpedder. See Dalpedder and Sankahar Castle. Nothing else to add there. Right, that's it. We are through the half-hour mark. Oh my goodness me, we need snacks. We need snacks. Is that it? Rubbish. Don't worry, I've got some more. Right. Off time. What to report at half time? Well, I went to the cinema last night. I'm just trying to find the... here we go. So I went to the cinema last night to see Project Hail Mary. What a brilliant film. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was fabulous. I thought Ryan Reynolds was great. I liked the way the narrative jumped around through time. Anyway, so we went to the brilliant Curzon Cinema in Clevedon, which is, I think it's Britain's oldest continuously running cinema. It's fabulous in there. It's absolutely beautiful in there. As you can see, there is the screen at the end. It actually still has an organ, which is played by one of the staff before each performance. Anyway, so do forgive this gurning idiot. We had sofa seats on the upper deck. And when I say we, I mean myself and my good friend Jackie. Oh my goodness me. She is absolutely brilliant. Well, she's brilliant because she puts up with me. But what a friend, what a mensch. So she loved it. And we both said we really should go to the cinema more often. What did we go and see? We went to see Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which we saw not long after I came out of my Southmead vacation. And we both declared it was utter crap. But we've also been to see Dune, because Jackie likes the Dune films. And looking forward to seeing Dune Part 3 this Christmas. What else did we go and see? We went to see The Roses last year, enjoyed that quite a bit. But again, keep saying to her, we should go more often. So anyway, but yeah, the Clevedon Curzon, oh my goodness me, what a fabulous cinema. It's such a great place to be. And what films have I seen there? First time I went there was 1978. I went with my friends Simon and Michael, and we went to see Disney's The Spaceman and King Arthur. And I got charged full price, despite the fact that I was only 12, because the staff wouldn't believe I was only 12. They, after a complaint was lodged with them, they gave me a free ticket, so that was good. Also saw Star Trek the Motion Picture there. Went there with my family. We saw a double bill of some film about the Bermuda Triangle and something, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Battle Beyond the Stars. What else have I seen there? Independence Day Resurgence. I can't think I've seen Jurassic Park there. I don't think I have. Solo. Lots of films there. But it is an absolutely beautiful cinema and right on my doorstep. And I really should go there more often. So anyway, we are going to have some brown rice snacks wasabi flavor from Lidl. God, can't open the... On Friday night, I watched a confused man from Dudley be utterly unable to open a packet of wasabi mix. Oh, that's close enough. Rice snacks, wasabi style, wasabi flavour rather. Now, when I was down in Minehead with Reg on Wednesday, I picked up this book, West Country Mysteries. Now, I may have it downstairs on the shelf, downstairs in the front room. But because it was a community bookshop where you pay what you think it's worth, I thought it was worth £2, so I gave them £2. And well, let's just say this may form the basis of a future Ghost Stories episode, because they're good stories. They're slightly mired in the supernatural, but excuse me. But yeah, good stuff. Brilliant little bookshop, by the way. What did you do Friday night? I watched A Confused Man from Dudley with holes in his head eat wasabi snacks from Lidl. These are the ones, though, the Rivercoat wasabi rice snacks. These are, oh, this is the real deal, folks. Just realised we haven't finished our beer off. Cheers, my beers. Sounds. Right, I've decided in order to eke the bump element out tonight, we will finish off the, if I can get the blessed thing open, we'll finish off the Beeble original, which is like it's a honey liqueur, not unlike the Western Gold we're drinking at the moment. Oh, hello, Dead Soldier and Run VT.
Oh, it's jolly nice of you. Hello, Dead Soldier. Seen plenty of those in my time.
Don't tell me this is going to be a 4 Dead Soldier run tonight. That'll be a record for this this nonsense. Anyway, we're on to the coffee, the chocolate stout rather, from Aldi, which is absolutely beautiful stuff. If I can get the damn thing open. Oh, lovely. Yeah, I can't believe how cold it's suddenly gone. It was, like I say, when Reg and I were coming back on the train on Wednesday, we were absolutely melting in that compartment. And yet tonight, absolutely freezing. As you can see, there is dirt in the background there. But yeah, absolutely cold. Right, let's crack on, shall we? Because Ice Gur Hungry. Well, we've got some fan mail to read. Ice Gur Hungry, and I've also got the new episode of Monarch: Legacy of Monsters to watch. So, right, who's messaged me? Friend Jude. Bum, 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 bum. Let's crack on, shall we? So, part 2 of the show. Saracen Head, Glasgow. Located in the centre of Glasgow, the original Saracen Head, or Sarry Head, as it is known, was built in 1755 and stood over the road from the present pub. The hostelry has much character and an eventful history. Not least, it is the home to the skull of the last reputed witch to be executed in Scotland, which is on display in a glass case. The pub is reputed to be haunted by a former publican called Angus, and there has been unexplained activity in recent times, said to be caused by the bogles of former drinkers. Public house, telephone number. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in May 2005 by Ghost Finders, website address, and by Spirit Finders Scotland, website address. Do you know what? We're going to look that up. Saracen's Head, Glasgow. Saracen's Head, Glasgow, skull. Let's look that up, shall we? Saracen's Head. There we go. Saracen Head, Glasgow, skull. Oh my goodness me, ladies and gentlemen. We've found it. Right, here we go. Share screen, share screen, share screen. Right, let's try it again. Share screen, share screen, share screen. So here is a website for Glasgow, Scotland. The Witch's Skull, one of the city's oldest pubs, displays a skull said to belong to the country's last witch burned at the stake. And so that is apparently the skull in question. And then we have Glasgow's first pub museum. See the skull of Maggie, the last witch to be burned at the stake. Read a poem in Rabbie Burns' own handwriting. And what else have we got here? The Saracen Head. No, that's it. That's your lot, folks. So always good to put some flesh on the stories that we read. But I'm sure it was it the Saracen Head or the Saracen's Head? No, Saracen Head. I misread that. I think we'll have some more wasabi mix, actually. Bear with. Sorry, folks. Right, let's crack on, shall we? Sawton House, Edinburgh. Sawton House was burnt down. It was burnt down in the 1950s. Sorry, Sawton House was burnt down in the 1950s and was then demolished. Although it has been an attractive old fortified house, the site of the house is occupied by a garden. Sawton originally belonged to the Watsons, but passed to the Ellis family, who built the house, and later to the Baileys, then to the Bairds. The building was used as a private lunatic asylum. before being bought by the local council, after which the grounds were turned into a park. Were turned into a park. The 1908 Scottish National Exhibition took place in the Policies, although only a footbridge from the exhibition now survives. The house was said to have had a green lady, which is still reportedly occasionally spotted in the garden. Snack time. Oh, down there they are. What have I eaten today, folks? I had some banana and Lidl fat-free fromage frais with some seeds from Lidl as well. All Lidl stuff, actually. But that's about it. Scone Palace. Standing in 100 acres of fine gardens and woodlands, Scone Palace is magnificent. I think there should be an A there. Scone Palace is a magnificent and stately mansion dating from 1802, although it incorporates older work, possibly part of the abbot's lodging. The property has long been owned by the Murray Earls of Mansfield. The palace stands on the site of an abbey founded here in the 12th century, and the Kings of Scots were inaugurated at the Moot Hill from the 9th century up to Charles I in 1651. The Stone of Destiny, also called the Stone of Scone, was kept here until taken to Westminster Abbey by Edward I in 1296, although this was returned to Edinburgh Castle in 1996, exactly 700 years later. The palace is said to be haunted by ghostly footsteps heard in the South Passage. Although the passage has a wooden floor, it allegedly sounds as if the footsteps are walking down a stone one. Open April to October daily, other times by appointment. Telephone number, website. All right. We are on to the chocolate stout from Aldi. Smooth and indulgent, brewed in the UK in partnership with Hall and Woodhouse, the well-known 80s pop duo. A rich, indulgent stout featuring luxurious chocolate flavors balanced by notes of roasted malt. 5%. Oh, this is glorious stuff. Whoops. Cheers, me beers. Oh, that is lovely. Oh, I can drink that all night long. Slash me bar. Scotia Bar, Glasgow. The Scotia Bar, with a long and colourful history, was first founded at the end of the 18th century and continues today as a popular hostelry for those with an interest in music, literature, or politics. The pub itself is said to be haunted, the story going that a former publican hanged himself in the cellar. Public house, telephone number, website. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in March 2007 by Spirit Finders Scotland. Website address. How can, I got to say this, folks, how can 2007 now be nearly 20 years ago? Doesn't seem possible. No, 2007. I'm trying to kind of like get a grasp on that. No, I can't. There was a point in my life when 2007 was indeed the future. It's now nearly 20 years in the past. Goodness me. Let's not kill the mood, but, oh. Anyway, cheers, me beers. Slouch. I just suddenly realised I've still got gin in the fridge that I kept from when I was making my gin liqueurs at Christmas. So perhaps I'll break that out for Sunday. But anyway, Scotland's secret bunker, Troywood. The bunker, which is some 100 foot underground, was built in the 1950s to house government operations in the event of a nuclear war. Watch this space. Everything was included within the bunker, including an operations room, cinema, and restaurant. The entrance was concealed in what appeared to be a farmhouse, and a tunnel led through blast-proof doors and into the bunker. Furniture and other items seen in the bunker are authentic, including the tote board showing aircraft and anti-aircraft gun status. The bunker was decommissioned in 1993 and it was sold and then opened to visitors. There are several accounts of hauntings in the bunker, including sightings of an apparition of a uniformed person seen at one spot in the bunker. Other activity is said to include unusual changes in temperature, including cold spots, and both staff and visitors reporting that they feel very drained. Open April to October daily. Telephone number, website. Dear burps again, do apologise, folks. Oh, there we go. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in April 2008 by the Ghost Club, website address, and by Spirit Finders Scotland, website address, and by, in 2005, I think I should be, and in 2005, by Albert Paranormal Investigations, website address. That reminds me, I really must join the Ghost Club, because I looked up their details, I think before Christmas. I think it was quite reasonable to join the Ghost Club. And of course, the Ghost Club was what Peter Underwood was the president of. So I feel compelled to join the Ghost Club. I think we'll wait until Sunday Night Ghost Stories on a Sunday, and we might go and have a look at that. So cheers, me beers. Goodness me, for the third time tonight. Uh-oh, Dead Soldier and Run VT.
Oh, it's jolly nice of you. Hello, Dead Soldier. Seen plenty of those in my time.
Scotsman Hotel, Edinburgh. Housed in an impressive and elaborate building rising many stories, the Scotsman Hotel was the former offices and printing works of the Scotsman newspaper and its associated publications until that organisation moved to a new site near Holyrood. The hotel is a luxury 5-star boutique establishment with the bar and brasserie housed in the fabulous wood-panelled reception room. The press room is now occupied by a gym. The building is said to be haunted by several ghosts, including a phantom printer and the bogle of a forger. Hotel, telephone number, website. Nope, let's have a beer and a bump. What are we up to? 56 minutes, right. Cheers, me beers. Oh, lovely. Slange. Oh, lovely. Well, this could be our 4th dead soldier of the evening. Not quite. No, we've actually got more than we. Right, here we go. Scottish Fisheries Museum, Anstruther. Not Anne Summers, Anstruther. The Scottish Fisheries Museum is grouped around a cobbled courtyard at the harbour and has extended into an old boatyard alongside. Among the many attractions are the boats, both real and model, I think they mean models, and a fisherman's cottage. The museum buildings incorporate an abbot's lodging of Balmerino Abbey dating from the 16th century and a merchant's house of 1724, and other parts are built on the site of a chapel, inn and cooper's workshop. The museum buildings are said to be haunted, and a dark apparition by a boat in the yard has been reported, as well as unexplained footsteps coming from an unoccupied area. The door into the fisherman's cottage is reported at times to be unusually difficult to open, as if someone was pushing it from the other side, even though the cottage was empty. It is also said that poltergeist type activity was experienced in the days of it is also said that poltergeist type activity was experienced in the Days of Sale exhibit. This may have been associated with a pair of boots, which had been taken from the cottage, as the odd occurrences are said to have ceased when the boots were returned to the cottage. Open all year daily, closed 25th to 26th of December and 1st to 2nd of January. Telephone number. A paranormal investigation was undertaken by Paranormal Discovery. We are coming up to the hour mark and hour mark. Oh, lovely. Oh. Scottish Mining Museum, Newton Grange. Based at the historic Lady Victoria Colliery, the Mining Museum features tours led by ex-miners of the Pithead, Scotland's largest steam winding engine, and a full-scale replica of Scottish Mining Museum, Newton Grange. Based at the historic Lady Victoria Colliery, the Mining Museum features tours led by ex-miners of the Pithead, Scotland's largest steam winding engine, and a full-scale replica of a modern underground coalface. Parts of the museum are said to be haunted. Open all year, daily, telephone number, website. A paranormal investigation was undertaken by Alva Paranormal Investigations. Website address. I should hope it was haunted. What if it's not haunted? What's it doing in this blessed book, for goodness sake? We are going to have some more wasabi mix. Cheers, me beers. Scottish Mining Museum. No, we read that one. Scowry Lodge, set in a sheltered spot in the rugged northwest coast of Scotland. Scowry Lodge, or house, dates from the first half of the 19th century and was built by the Duke of Sutherland for his wife. But she did not like Scowry and never lived there. The lodge was then used as a factor's house for the Scowry estate and was visited by Gladstone, J.M. Barrie, and the Queen Mother. There are fine gardens and bed and breakfast accommodation is available. Scowry had been held by the Mackays. Ooh, painful. Scowry had been held by the Mackays, and Hugh Mackay of Scowry led the government forces that were defeated at the Battle of Killiecrankie in 1689. He then went to Holland, where he was killed at Steinkirk 3 years later. The lands went to the Earls and then Dukes of Sutherland, and the lodge was used by Evander MacIlver. Sorry, the lands went to the Earls and then Dukes of Sutherland, and the lodge was used by Oh, it's been a long day, folks. The lands went to the Earls and then Dukes of Sutherland, and the lodge was used by Evander MacIvor, who was their factor for some 60 years and is infamous for his part in the Highland clearances. He died in 1903 at the age of 90 years, and his ghost is said to haunt the building. B&B open March, end of October. Telephone number, website. Slinesbury, bye everybody. I think this might be the last Durf for tonight. Slides. I think it will be the last Durf for tonight. So let's top up the old bump. Oh my goodness me. Is it the third or the fourth time tonight? I think it's the fourth time tonight. Uh-oh, Dead Soldier and Run VT.
Oh, it's jolly nice of you. Hello, Dead Soldier. Seen plenty of those in my time.
I think that's got to be a record, folks. 4 Dead Soldiers in one show. So, Settle Inn, Stirling. Located in the ancient St. Mary's Wynd, the Settle Inn is Stirling's most enduring hostelry and dates from 1733, which is about 5:30. The atmospheric cellar lounge is arched in stone, and there is a huge old fireplace. Oh, the beer burps. Do apologise. There are tales that the place is haunted and that manifestations seem to be focused on the cellar and the stair down to it. Members of staff have reported feeling as if they are being pushed down the stairs. Unexpectedly frigid areas are also reputed to be felt in the inn. which move around the place. And there are also stories of phantom drinkers dressed in an old-fashioned way being seen in the hostelry, although they vanish when observers look away. Read that again. Unexpectedly frigid areas are reputed to be felt in the inn, which move around the place, and there are also stories of phantom drinkers dressed in an old-fashioned way being seen in the hostelry, although they vanish when observers look away. Public house, telephone number, website. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in December 2008 by Spirit Finders Scotland. Website address. I think that's going to be it for tonight, folks. We need some food. It's 9:15, gone at 9:15. Oh, lovely. Whoops. Spilt bump all over myself. Shank End. There is said to have been an old mansion at Shank End, which overlooked the Waverley railway line, but nothing now remains of the mansion or the railway. During World War I, the house is believed to have been used to house German prisoners of war who were working on the farm, and several are said to have died in a cholera outbreak in 1917 and to have been buried locally. Their ghosts are reported to haunt the area, and one manifestation is said to cause feelings of extreme foreboding and even dread. Right, when we're back on Sunday, we're up to the Sheephead Inn, Edinburgh. But, slange me bar. Oh, lovely. Cheers me beers. That's going to be a trip to Lidl. Oops, Daisy. A trip to Lidl to get some more Western Gold honey. What? Oh, that is beautiful. So, that's it for tonight, folks. Goodness me, what are we up to? An hour and 10 minutes, hour and 9 minutes and 50 seconds. So, fingers crossed, we'll be back on Sunday for, brace yourselves, folks, Sunday Night Ghost Stories on a Sunday as nature intended. Until then, it behoves me. Oh, actually, I've just suddenly realized I suddenly realized we haven't given a shout out to the magnificent United Federation of Planet Shot Glass from viewers Kirsten and Steve in the United States. Let's just see if we can get a bit more. Can we get a bit more into that? I think we can. How remiss of me. Absolutely remiss of me. So, like I say, viewers Kirsten and Steve in the United States of America, in the magnificent United Federation of Planet Shot Glass. Cheers, me beers. That's lovely. So fingers crossed, we'll be back on Sunday for Sunday Night Ghost Stories. Until then, it behoves me to say thank you for watching. Why not? What else are you going to do on a Friday night than watch a confused man from Dudley with holes in his head, drink ghost stories, and read alcohol? Come on, folks, you can do better. I can't. I'm trapped in this tragic existence. Anyway, until then, as always, stay safe, stay out of trouble, and please don't have nightmares. Good night.